Today we're going to finish coloring our coil pots. Last time we were here, we painted the whole coil pot with black tempera paint. We painted the inside, we painted the outside. The only place that we didn't paint was the bottom because of course that's where we put our name. Now today we're going to be adding a lot more color to these with oil pastels. There are no rules for what colors you can choose to put on your pot. You can do whatever color scheme you want. So whenever you choose your first color, all you have to do is take your oil pastel and rub it over the texture of your pot. Since the background of our pot is black, it's going to really make our colors look like they're kind of glowing in the dark because they have that dark background. So the color is really going to pop. And I'm just going to rub, rub, rub. The other really great thing about using oil pastels is they're pretty thick, so they're not able to get down into the cracks of our coils, which is a good thing because it leaves that black outline there to make our coil design stand out. Also, you're going to find that the more color you add with the pastel, the more times you go over and over and over it, the brighter your colors get. So I suggest really taking your time to rub hard over the coils so that the colors get really super bright. Now we all know that oil pastels are great for blending on paper. Well, you can also blend with them on clay as well. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so that you can kind of see the blending a little bit better. I start with a peach color and I'm going to experiment blending a little bit of blue into certain parts. So blending colors is definitely okay today. You can even blend 3 colors if you want to. I'll put a little mint in the center. Really want to make my colors kind of sparkle and stand out. And you're just going to keep on going with oil pastel until the whole entire pot is filled with color. If you have time, you can even do the inside of your pot. Anywhere that you have painted black, you can add oil pastel on top. When you're done, your pot should be filled with color like this. Now, in order to keep the oil pastel from rubbing off, we're going to have to seal it with some Mod Podge. Mod Podge is great to use on clay projects because not only does it seal the color of your oil pastel or your paint or whatever it is that you put on your pot, but it also gives it a little bit of a shiny finish. So I'm just going to take my clay paintbrush and I'm only dipping the tip down into the paint. I don't need to get any Mod Podge up on the silver part. I'm trying to only use the bristles. And you're going to notice it kind of looks a lot like Elmer's glue when you first dip it in. And I'm just going to very carefully paint this over my pot. I'm going to paint it over the oil pastel and I'm painting it on the black paint. So the Mod Podge does have to get down into the cracks. The oil pastel didn't get down in there, but the Mod Podge should. It is going to seal everything. Black paint, oil pastel, the whole deal. And you might be thinking that the Mod Podge is kind of ruining your colors because of that icky white thick stuff that you're putting on there, but don't worry because it's going to dry completely clear. Those colors will be just as bright as ever, and it will just leave that little bit of shiny sparkle left over when it's dry. So whenever you are painting your pot, you probably don't want to be holding it like I'm doing. The only reason that I'm holding it is so that you can see it on the video. If I were you, I would put it down on the table like this to paint it. That way you're not getting that sticky Mod Podge all over your hands. When the entire outside of your pot and inside of your pot is covered with Mod Podge, you can leave it on your messy mat to dry. Don't pick it up because the Mod Podge is really sticky and messy right now.